Cersei of the House Lannister, first of her name, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Protector of the Seven Kingdoms. Long may she reign. Long may she reign.
Your house will disappear. All memory of you will disappear.
You can't kill me. I'm part of you now.
Happy Comic-Con Day 2. They actually dropped a Season 7 teaser, so let's break it down. I'm also going to do a breakdown of the really important stuff they said about Season 7 during the panel. There was actually a lot of Season 7 news in between all the jokes that they were telling. There was a lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff, like Sophie Turner was baiting the crowd a little bit, saying, I totally would love to see Littlefinger on the Iron Throne. She got like the shame done treatment after that. Like the whole crowd was just like, shame, shame. How dare you suggest Littlefinger take the Iron Throne? But let's start with the footage first. So mostly what you're seeing here is them setting up their King's Landing set, like the Iron Throne room, Cersei's throne room, her costume. You see the Mountain's Kingsguard armor. Then you see like all these shields. You see like all the stuff that's happening at Winterfell. This is mostly hyping King's Landing, Winterfell stuff. Like you see Sansa's chair here. So Sophie Turner actually said that she believes that Jon is unfit to rule Winterfell, to run it, just like the way Robert Baratheon was a terrible king, an amazing warrior, but someone who has no business running a kingdom. So in her opinion, this is Sophie Turner speaking, she believes that Jon and Sansa should rule the North as king and queen together, but not as a couple, not as a romantic couple. There was actually a fan that asked her, I was kind of blown away by this, but I guess you shouldn't be surprised, but she confirmed that Jon and Sansa will not be getting down Twincest Lannister style. She's like, they grew up together, they're brother and sister. No, that is never going to happen. So it's not something that I ever believed was going to happen, but she did confirm, like Sansa is a little upset at the situation, the way things are going right now. It does make her sound like she's going to be something of a bad girl in Season 7. Like Season 7 thematically, you'll see a lot of bad girls loving to misbehave. Like think about the way Cersei is the ultimate bad girl right now. Daenerys even has a little bit of a mean streak in her. Then think about Sansa, what's going on with her right now. She did say that Sansa really did enjoy killing Ramsay, and that maybe now she would enjoy killing more. So it all just feels like it's feeding into a full season of bad girls misbehaving. Like if you know, like Mad Men is a show all about bad men, think about that same idea with the main female characters for Game of Thrones. Just a season of women behaving badly. You know, you can see the little bear off screen just scowling at everyone. This map here actually offers some clarification. You see like the little dragon ships. You see the other ship markers here near the Sea of Dorne. So that's where Daenerys is sailing. So we know Daenerys is going to at least start the season down in Dorne. Like in this final shot here, there was some question as to like where she was going exactly, because there were some Dornish ships in the fleet. So just a little bit of a teaser, but obviously she's not going to spend a whole lot of time just sitting around. So even though they might start there, they'll be sailing up to King's Landing relatively quickly. But Season 7 script hype 701, just give us a little peek inside there. I know this looks like a real script, but usually they print them on red pages so they can't be photocopied. And they'll number the pages. There's all kinds of crazy security now. But if you ever wondered, they actually finished the story itself, like the scripts. I mean, even though the scripts change a little bit, but the story is written way far in advance. Like they're pretty much done writing Season 7. They're probably even working on Season 8 now, but there's always a lot of revisions that happen. So like even though they've written this first script, they're probably going to do a read through with the cast. There'll be all kinds of changes. Dialogue will change, scenes will get moved around. But what happens is because they're gearing up for production, like they're starting to make things, those people need to know which scenes they're going to be filming so that they can actually make the props. That's why you see early versions of scripts like this floating around. So if you've ever read like a script leak, sometimes that might be a really early version of the script, not the actual script that they wind up shooting with. So like if we do see a very bad girl version of Sansa trying to act very queenly, sitting at the head of the table at Winterfell, maybe she's wearing a costume that looks very similar to something that Cersei would wear, something very queenly, very powerful looking. The costume department would need to know about that scene so that they could actually make the dress. And that actually reminds me, the costume person, the person who makes a lot of the costumes on Game of Thrones, not this past season, but she's coming on next season, was at Comic-Con talking about some ideas that she was kicking around. Like, she didn't say exactly who she was developing some costumes for, but she made it sound like she was going to be making some special jewelry pieces for Daenerys. Like Daenerys, Cersei, and now Sansa will all have these very elaborate costumes. The dudes, on the other hand, like Jon Snow, just rolls out of bed, shakes his hair, and goes to get something to eat. Like, he's not going to be wearing super elaborate costumes. Like, there's just a certain level of pageantry with all the female characters. So just expect that to get really crazy, especially now that Cersei has crowned herself. Other really important story elements. So Isaac Hempstead Wright was talking about what's going to be happening next. So he's like, the big Jon Snow Targaryen reveal is very important to the story going forward. Bran learned this information for a reason, so he imagines that he's going to be spreading the word far and wide so that not just Jon Snow, but the entire kingdom knows the truth of the situation. There is a Targaryen heir in the kingdom, so obviously that's going to cause a lot of chaos. He didn't say exactly how he thinks Bran is going to tell that to Jon Snow, but he did say that it's going to be really funny when he shows up and tries to tell Jon that he's a tree wizard and that his father is not his real father. So that was actually one of my predictions for Season 7, is it like they would explore the idea of Jon Snow's father, whereas Season 6 was the big reveal of his mother being Lyanna Stark. And the other big thing, like a little further south at the Citadel, is Samwell. So pretty much everyone believes, and they were implying that what he was doing at the Citadel would be incredibly important for the story, meaning that because he has the Valyrian blade, he's probably going to learn how to fight White Walkers, and then he'll communicate that to Jon. So like, okay, we need Valyrian blades, we need obsidian, so we're going to need to get the Dragonstone, and we're going to need to forge more Valyrian steel. But the funny thing that the actor said is just that, like instead of dying in a battle, he would love to be crushed in like a giant avalanche of books at the Citadel. Like, it wasn't the battle that got him, it was all the books. So you guys can let me know, like, what do you think about this production teaser? Obviously, it's going to be a long time before they start actually filming scenes, so I don't think that we're going to get like a full trailer for the season, at least until next spring. Like, I mean, it's going to be a long time. And they did confirm that it was going to be early summer release, so it's going to be like really late May, early June before we get episode 1, which I think we kind of expected. And they did confirm also that it's going to be 7 episodes. 7 episodes starting in like, we'll say early June, but they didn't actually say the day. Like, they didn't give an exact date. They just said early summer. So get hyped, Comic-Con continues. There is a Walking Dead trailer. I'll do a video for that next, but I felt like this was just, there was so much good news that came out of the Game of Thrones panel that I wanted to do a video real quick. And there is a Game of Thrones giveaway going on right now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. I'll do another follow-up video in a couple days. Tomorrow's going to be huge for Marvel and DC, so I'll post updates for that whenever I post Marvel DC videos. While you guys wait for that video to post, you can click here for my Iron Fist trailer video. There are 2 Game of Thrones actors in that, and you can click here for all my other Game of Thrones Season 7 videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.